y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Shades 2 coming back at y'all tonight with another good live, y'all. We're going to talk about, what's the name of the daggone thing? The strange occurrences and disappearances at Crater Lake National Park, y'all. Plus, I'm going to give y'all a little breaking news just to let y'all know we just had a 4.6 earthquake in Northern California at 4 something p.m. today. So I just want to let you guys know that. All right. I don't know if they have any injuries or anything like that. Probably haven't. I don't know for sure. Hey, Missy. But anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and get ready to start off with this live. Sorry about being late. I was watching something, so I had to delay this live a little bit. All right. Y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and hit the bell notification to be notified of any upcoming videos. And if you would like to show support to my channel, y'all can hit that Cash App at $Shades2 to show your support. All right. One day, y'all, and it's my birthday. Don't y'all forget. I'm so crazy. Y'all want to know something funny? Today is, my mom claimed that today I was actually born. Okay. But since I've been celebrating my birthday on the 22nd for the longest, and that's what it says. It says that on my official, like my driver's license and things like that. I just been celebrating my birthday since the 22nd, on the 22nd since. So, I mean, I don't know if it's the 21st for real, but I always celebrate my birthday on the 22nd of March. But anyway, oh, you didn't feel it? I didn't either, girl. I didn't either. But anyway, y'all know the rules. Let's keep it kind and respectful. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hello to everybody in the bushes. All right. I'm kind of rushing tonight, y'all. And y'all know that we're going to keep it kind and respectful, and any troll will be blocked fast because I don't have time for all that stuff over here when I am trying to talk about something real. Now, what I'm really trying to figure out is why this boy is calling me now. My soccer partner. Yeah, I don't know why, but he don't really know I'm online. So, but still, it's like, what time is it over there? It is 3:37 over there. I'm trying to figure out why is he calling me when he should be asleep. Okay, that's weird. I'll just let it ring because I'm doing my live. I'm not going to get off my live and answer the phone. But anyway, we are going to cover some breaking news. But before we do that, y'all, we are going to talk about the strange occurrences and disappearances at Crater Lake National Park. All right. But before we do that, I just want to let y'all know that some local Macy's stores are closing. Okay. They're closing multiple locations across the country. Macy's. I love Macy's, y'all. Dang. Gosh. So hopefully the one over here don't close. All right. Yeah, I know we don't notice these quakes. And then when they have the big one, hopefully I'll be out of here. But hopefully they don't never have one. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, yeah. Those quakes or something. As a matter of fact, I need to get my earthquake insurance back and stuff. I got to do all that and stuff. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead, y'all, and get ready with this reaction, talking about this stuff here. And go ahead and go on with the show. Let me see here. Where's my thing at? Let's see. We're going to do that reaction sign. I should have changed that reaction time. Let me do something scary. That's all right. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this thing. I'm going to share this news article with you guys. All right, and then I'm going to be reading it. I don't know if this is a good idea because if I don't say something right, y'all going to see it. Let me see. I think I will, though. Y'all already know I be saying shit at times that don't even make no sense. You already know this already. So I'm going to tell you a little stuff about this lake. Now, if you can see this picture on my screen, this lake right here is very beautiful. I'm not going to lie. It's very beautiful. Okay. However, don't let looks fool you. Okay. So let's just go over a little bit of information. Then I'm going to let y'all see some videos about some strange disappearances and things like that at that lake. Before I do this, I just want to do my copyright. As a matter of fact, maybe I should have went to the Copyright Act thing. I'm not going to do it on here because I will have to change the screen and all that. But anyway, everything in my video is protected by the Fair Use Copyright Act of 1976, which allows us to use certain information, videos, whatever, for entertainment purposes, educational purposes, for research, to give opinions and things like that, and instructional purposes. And that is all by the Fair Use Act of 1976. That disclaimer will be in this, in my bio, as well as in my comment section. Okay. All right. So let me block this right here. Okay. So anyway, a lot of people have visited this place and became missing. Okay. And I think the last one that I heard about was in 2014 or somewhere around that. Okay. Well, anyway, like I said, this national park, y'all, is absolutely just stunning. Okay. Um, they said they have towering cinders of the crater rim are contrasted by the lush ancient forest that surrounds it. Um, they have a deep blue lake. This is an actual picture of the place, and that lake is beautiful. And it's just really beautiful. The trees, just everything about it. I mean, every picture that I looked at, as you can see this, it is really, really nice. Look at this right here. This is Wizard Island in Crater Lake National Park. Okay, this is very beautiful. And then you can see stuff down here and all that and everything. But there are a lot of people who became missing out here and other strange events. And they said these events have happened right in the immediate area around the lake. People have committed suicide, people have got murdered, and then just disappearances. Okay. Yeah, let's see. They also said that the lake there is one of the largest, no, not largest, deepest lakes in the United States of America, I believe. That's what they said. I think they said this lake is over, um, I don't even want to lie or guess, but I thought I heard that they said that it was 200 feet. Okay. And as you can see, this is just another little picture of the lake, the old man of the lake, which is just a nickname given to a famous geological oddity at the lake, which is this thing right here. Okay. But I'm going to tell you guys about the strange occurrences at this lake. I wanted to give you guys some background information, but I'm gonna let somebody on YouTube do it for me, okay? Because I don't want to be pronouncing these words crazy tonight, all right? Or have to go to Google and see how you say it and all this other little stuff. So we're gonna I just wanted you guys to see some pictures of it. Let me see if I can pull up some more pictures of this lake real quick. Because this is a very beautiful lake. I'm not gonna lie. Because I looked at it before we start talking about it. It's always good just to see pictures so you can know what we're talking about and things like this, okay? Let me show y'all what it look like. Pictures of Crater Lake National Park. Let's look at some pictures real quick before we start talking about it. Look at these gorgeous ass pictures, y'all. Look at this. These are some gorgeous pictures of this lake. If you guys can see all of this, let me make sure y'all can see. These are some gorgeous pictures of this lake. All right, some very gorgeous. Trying to give people time to come in here as well. Hey, Miss Renee. Healthy Living. Y'all go check out Healthy Living with Miss Renee the Barber. She has a real good channel. It's very positive. She cooks, okay, and everything. A real good channel. As a matter of fact, I go watch some of her videos because I haven't watched any in a long time. So I'll be over there to your place, Miss Renee. And thank you for coming in. But yeah, y'all, look at this lake. This lake is absolutely gorgeous. Man, if it didn't have so many horrible things happening at it, I would go visit it. But I'm not a crazy person, so I'm definitely not going to visit. But it's beautiful. Look at these pictures, y'all. It is beautiful, especially that one right there. Look at this. Just beautiful. A beautiful sight in the winter, in the fall, in the summer, and everything. You couldn't even imagine everything that you're going to learn about this lake tonight, okay? So let's go ahead and go to YouTube, all right? And we're going to type in this lake. Crater Lake. What's the name of it? National Park. Park disappearances. Okay, so we're gonna learn about some things that happened there. Okay. Okay, a lot of people have became missing there, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. They claim that that lake is also cursed. I forgot to tell you guys that. Okay. So we're gonna watch this one right here. I want to go ahead and do this one, or should I watch the one that talks really well? Let's see. I forgot which one I was watching. Um, and now he's at. Oh, this is something else. Okay. So let's look at the top 10 mysteries at Crater Lake first, okay? This is how many minutes? 9 minutes. Let's look at that one first. Don't forget, y'all, these videos are used for entertainment and educational purposes and protected by the Fair Use Act of 1976, which allows us to use certain videos information for entertainment purposes as well as some other purposes. Okay, there you go. And we are doing a reaction video, because if you're not doing a reaction video, it's a thin line there. Okay, so we're doing a reaction video, so I'm going to be stopping and talking. All right, so I hope you don't mind. And we're going to bypass this little commercial, but y'all need to get StreamYard if y'all go online.
Freaky science. We emit bluish gray clouds. If you want to stay updated on our latest videos. In 1945, Crater Lake began to emit bluish gray clouds of heavy dust, resembling a thick smoke. These clouds had an odd mushroom cap shape. As a result,
now before we watch the disappearances, I just want to show y'all, let y'all know some quick facts so you can know about this lake somewhat. Okay, so that's why I'm showing you this, and then we're going to hear the disappearances. Not all of them, because it's a lot. All right, and we're going to try to watch some strange things that happen at the lake as well. All right, I'm not trying to scare you guys, so we're going to come off with something a little bit more upbeat first.
Tourists soon began to personify the emission of the gas, describing them as the lake burping. Unsurprisingly, these events attracted a visit from some top scientists, and what they found out was that Crater Lake was not just a lake, but an active volcano. And although they predicted will likely erupt again in the near future, there's no need to panic, because scientists believe that its next eruption
I did forget to tell you, it's made from or sit on top of or something like that, a volcano. And let me just say hello to everybody in the chat. Let me say hello to Elisa, Missy, and Miss Renata Barber, and anybody else that come in. Hello, thank you for coming in to my chat, to Shades Tube. All right, let's go ahead and finish watching this.
Will likely be very small and do no serious damage. According to the Klamath Native Americans, Crater Lake was created due to a flawed romance. The story goes that Mondakni, who was the chief of the underworld, was envious of the Klamath tribe's lands. As a result, he watched their people often, and in doing so, he discovered Loha, the daughter of a Klamath chief. However, when Mondakni sent his most trusted men to ask for Loha's hand in marriage, the Klamath people sent Loha away into hiding. When Mondakni heard about Loha's disappearance on the Klamath, causing a nearby volcano to erupt, leading to a war between the two chiefs. The fighting resulted in Mount Mazama collapsing and creating what is now known as Crater Lake. As a result, the lake is now a holy site for the Klamath people, and they still consider it to be a portal between the human and spirit world to this day.
Wow.
On July 4th, 1947, Crater Lake National Park was unfortunately the site of a very strange suicide. You see, a park visitor by the name of Mr. Cornelius and his wife were walking down a lake trail when, without warning, Mr. Cornelius slid down the edge of a mountain ridge in an attempt to kill himself.
What?
However, he only sustained a broken leg, but rather than stop there, he crawled to the edge of the lake and allowed himself to drown within it. And while this...
That's crazy as hell, y'all. Okay? That is very psycho. These people, boy,
Suicide seemed very strange to police investigators at the time. What prompted Mr. Cornelius to do such a thing is still a mystery to this day. As we'll see in this video, this isn't the only thing that proves that Crater Lake just has a weird energy to it.
Y'all, I told you there have been a lot of suicides and disappearances and other strange things. Like UFO sightings, all types of weird shit. There's a lot of stuff. Y'all will see. Okay. And y'all know I'm eating. Let me show y'all my food real quick, because I got to show you. You know, as always, I have to show you this. Wait. Before we go back to this video. This damn, oh my God. I'm so hot in here. I got to take this shirt off too. Let me show y'all this meal real quick. Damn, this girl got, it's just hot shit in here, y'all. Wait. It's the cameras, right? Can y'all see that? This is a good ass little meal, y'all. It's so cute. I'm gonna drop this stuff, but it's spaghetti with cheese and stuff on. I don't know if y'all can see it real good, because if I this damn camera, now you can see it. See, yum yum. All right, baby. Go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead and finish watching this. My ass is always interrupting stuff. All right, here we go. Okay.
Park ranger by the name of Jan Kerwan is no stranger to odd occurrences near Crater Lake. Having worked at the park for decades, she has attested to the existence of strange phantom sights. If her reports are to be believed, she and other officers have seen campfires on Crater Lake's Wizard Island that seem to defy the laws of the natural world. That's because whenever her or another ranger approaches to shut down these illegally placed campfires, they seem to suddenly disappear upon the ranger's arrival, not even leaving a single scorch mark to attest to their presence. And one particularly odd occurrence, Ranger Kerwan claimed that she saw a group of 10 people sitting around a fire pit illegally. But when she approached them with her car, the entire site simply disappeared. And while no solid explanation has been put forth to explain these phenomena, some believe these sightings could be the spirits of the Klamath natives.
That's what I was getting ready to say. It's probably spirits, so-called spirits and stuff. A lot of people have said they have seen things out there at that lake. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't understand why people keep on going out there and then some of these people end up being missing. That's crazy to me.
Used to hunt and berry pick in the area. Although not a literal old man, the old man is a title given to a 10.6 meter tall mountain hemlock that stands vertically in Crater Lake's waters. It's said that this hemlock has been floating in Crater Lake since 1896 and has reportedly traveled as far as 6.5 kilometers in a single day. Yet in 1988, a group of individuals boarding a submarine were worried about hitting the old man, so they did the unthinkable and decided to tie up the tree. Almost as soon as they had done so, the lake's waters turned extremely aggressive, threatening to capsize the submarine. So naturally, they decided to untie the old man, and once they did, the water went back to normal. Since then, scientists have tried to explain why the hemlock floats vertically and why this reported weather change occurred. But to this day, they're not entirely able to explain this phenomenon.
Yeah, it sounds like something's going on at that lake. That's weird, y'all. Very strange. Obviously, they didn't want them to move that, right?
Crater Lake has had its fair share of murders. However, one of the most frightening has been a cold case for more than 50 years. You see, on July 1st, 1962, an eyewitness remembers seeing two men who ended up being General Motors executives. They were talking to two other men described as quote-unquote blue-collared men. These two other men led the GM executives into the woods, and what happened next is perhaps a mystery, but certainly a tragedy. The two businessmen were discovered to be murdered execution style, in addition to having been gagged by their own neckties, and one even had his pair of shoes missing. And while this case has not been solved to this day, one thing is for certain. Those blue-collared men are some serious sketchballs.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it's been quite common for travelers to find the bones of individuals who have perished within Crater Lake. However, what's odd is that these remains tend to appear years after they've passed, and far after the search for the bodies were called off. This has led conspiracy theorists to question whether or not it's a coincidence that remains seem to consistently reappear years after being lost in the vastness of Crater Lake. This strange occurrence and many others, as we'll soon see in this video, are what give Crater Lake its spooky and mysterious reputation. Speaking of spooky and mysterious, on February 4th, 1997, the park received numerous reports of military jets trailing three strange UFOs with blinking lights over Crater Lake. Coincidentally, it was on the same evening that various car alarms simultaneously went off across western Oregon as a whole, supposedly in response to a sonic boom occurring in the area. The sequence of events has led many to believe that the sonic boom, which is an interference created by an object moving faster than the speed of sound, was created by UFOs. And
probably so, because they always covering things up. It's just pretty odd. Okay, it probably was one.
As with most UFO theories, there's still hard evidence missing to confirm what actually went down in the skies above Crater Lake that fateful night. In 1980, a family camping trip near Crater Lake was going as planned when at about 9 p.m., one of the children heard a strange sound. Describing it as the result of the banging of pots and pans, the sound appeared to be getting closer, until eventually a large figure approached the campsite's fire. Although the child had an unclear view through his tent's flap, he saw the figure's body from the chest down and claimed that despite being similar to that of a human's, it was acting very strangely. In fact, this figure supposedly shook the tent and stared at the child for hours, leading the child to believe that the figure was some sort of beast. However, after looking for footprints the next day, the child could not find any due to the pine needles littering the area. And while this account has unsurprisingly been questioned by most, many believe that this could have been the sighting of the legendary Bigfoot. And given that many similar sightings have been made near Crater Lake in the years since, perhaps these conspiracy theorists really are onto something.
The thing about it, you can't always doubt what kids tell you, because sometimes they be telling you the truth. I think he did see something. You know what I'm saying? Kids usually, some do lie about stuff like that, but for the most part, a lot of them don't. He saw something. I don't know if it was Bigfoot, but he saw something.
In 1975, a 19-year-old photographer by the name of Charles McCuller went on a trip to Crater Lake to take some scenic pictures of this natural wonder. Reaching the park in January, Charles planned to stay near the lake for just 2 days before moving on to a friend's house in state. Even though he informed his friend he would be there within 2 days, he never showed up. As a result, the FBI was contacted and began searching for him on a trailhead that he had last been seen on. After months of investigative work, he could not be found and was presumed to have passed. Fast forward to about a year later, and two hikers traversing the trail find a torn-up backpack that seemed to have belonged to McCuller. Unsurprisingly, this led to the park rangers once again initiating a search, and after some time they finally found his body, and it was located about 19 kilometers from the trailhead, and authorities were completely puzzled by this. After all, the snow was more than 2 meters deep at the time of McCuller's disappearance, and it would have been impossible for him to have walked such a far distance through that deep of snow. He was also found without any of his expensive camera equipment or his money, suggesting that these things may have been stolen. To top this all off, there was something very off about McCuller's remains. All that was found of his body were his feet bones in his socks and his shin bones in his unbuttoned jeans. McCuller's disappearance was ruled to be of natural causes, since park rangers believe that he simply took off his clothes after suffering from and eventually succumbing to hypothermia. And it shouldn't come as a surprise that neither his family nor most of the general population agree with the park rangers' verdict. And on a less murderous note, thanks for watching Super Freaky Science, and don't forget to subscribe.
As far as that day going hiker, which I listened to the whole story, at first I thought maybe he had slipped or something like that, but like they were saying, how could he have, hiked that far in all that snow, and then finding certain things? Okay, they said that they searched that park before, okay, and they didn't see anything. Then all of a sudden, a whole year later, then all this stuff pops up. So no, I don't think, I think something else happened there. I think something else happened. I don't know if a person was out there since the money and all that was gone, but I know something else happened because of the way, that they're saying. Y'all listen to that whole story. Now let's go ahead and go to the disappearance parts, okay, y'all? Because I don't want to bore you too much. Let's go ahead and do it, the disappearance. Let's do this. Okay, we're gonna look at that part. Let's see. Okay.
Make Easter moments magical with the Gold Bunny from Lindt.
Ubrelvy helps you fight migraine attacks. You put it all on the line. You do it.
Crater Lake
Don't get scared, y'all.
National Park is the 5th oldest national park in the United States. It's located in southern Oregon and was first established as such in 1902. Crater Lake itself is the deepest lake in America, reaching just shy of 2,000 feet. People say their
When I
first...
say 200, I meant to say 2,000. I told you I'd be saying some crazy stuff at times. I meant to say 2,000 because a lot of lakes are 200 feet. I meant to say 2,000. So sorry about that.
sight of Crater Lake is enchanting, with its intense blue waters surrounded by cliffs towering 2,000 feet above. Native American legend states that the mountain bluebird was grey initially before dipping into the
Wow.
That's not the only Native American legend in regards to the area. The Klamath people, who were indigenous to the area, view Crater Lake as being sacred. They perceive the lake to be a kind of crossroad between the spirits above and the spirits below. Interestingly,
Yeah, that's why all that stuff probably be happening out there. Because since they was worshiping this lake and probably doing all type of stuff out there, no telling what kind of stuff they were doing. You know what I'm saying, with witchcraft and things like that. And that's why this lake is probably like it is.
spirits below they call Lao and describe a fiery and dark figure. Inside Crater Lake is Wizard's Island, which the Klamath people state Lao resides. It's not clear to me when these legends began or what caused the Klamath people to start talking about the area in this way, but it's a fascinating piece of history nevertheless. The lore of this place didn't end with the natives. Later settlers would end up having incidents of their own to discuss. This leads us to the earliest reported disappearance that I could find, which occurred in 1853. John Wesley Hillman, Henry Clipple, and Isaac Skeeters entered the wilderness surrounding the lake in search of a man who had vanished in the area. Interestingly, the three men were actually among the first European Americans to see Crater Lake, and it's thought that this discovery may have been made on this search. In any case, it seems that the name of the man who disappeared has been lost to history because we're only left with his nickname, Setamap, who I'll just refer to as Set. Set was actually a friend of the three men who came out in search of him, and he held a bit of a reputation with his prospecting peers. He always seemed to come into town with gold on him, leading people to believe that he had likely found a source. It was said that John, Henry, and Isaac thought that firstly they could find Set and then be made privy to whatever gold mine Set had discovered. Mount Mazama holds Crater Lake, and the three men began searching this then uncharted territory for Set's cabin. Specifically, it was now that John supposedly discovered Crater Lake, and one of them, not clear who, discovered the cabin. However, upon returning to the other two, whoever it was apparently then couldn't find the cabin again, and further expeditions never discovered Set. John, Henry, and Isaac did exist and were present in the area at this time, but as far as Set's disappearance goes, there was only mention of him on more dubious sources, we'll call them. So whether this incident actually occurred or was added later for effect isn't clear to me. It's rather dubious at best that Set's real name has been lost to history and isn't known. Regardless of whether there's validity to the story or not, there are some rather odd disappearances that have taken place at Crater Lake that I can verify.
Recordings
We're gonna
just got
verify
better.
turn this commercial off.
Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to
Y'all
announce that.
understand him? 'Cause you know, he got that British. I think that's a British accent. I'm not sure. Can you guys understand him? Okay, let me know. First one, 2000. I mean, this is not the first one, but this is the one he's going to talk about.
First, let's talk about Sammy Bolker. Sammy was 8 years old when he disappeared in Crater Lake National Park. He was with his father, Kenneth, at the time, hiking within the park near the Cascade Mountains. Sammy and his father stopped to play tag on a cinder slope where Sammy saw some.
This is the one that I heard about. Okay. Now, the thing about it is that if this father is telling the truth, because I think this is the one where the little boy has autism, I think, and he was playing up above. I think he was playing that he ran up above or something like that. But anyway, he just disappeared, vanished, or something. You guys got to hear it, but I don't know. Just listen to the story, okay?
Something yellow and hoped it might be gold, though it's not made
I'm going to
clear
rewind
what
it
it
a little bit
was.
so y'all can hear that. Wait.
I get the importance. Sammy and his father stopped to play tag on a cinder slope where Sammy saw something yellow and hoped it might be gold, though it's not made clear what it was. I get the impression that Sammy was being a little bit difficult or awkward at the time, perhaps not completely listening to his dad. As darkness began to creep up on them, Kenneth began to walk down the hill a short distance to the car so they could go back to their rented cabin near Diamond Lake.
Right.
He could still see Sammy at this point, and Sammy was refusing to come down. It's not made clear if he was still hooked on or looking for whatever yellow item he saw or thought he saw. In any case, because Sammy wasn't coming down, Kenneth started to go back up the hill towards Sammy. Kenneth later said that he thought Sammy likely thought that this was a game because he always remained about 50 feet ahead. Here's a direct quote from Kenneth. "I never caught up with him, and at that point he disappeared over the top somewhere and I lost him." Or in other words, after Kenneth went over the same hilltop that Sammy had just gone over, he was no longer there. It's not at all clear what happened at this stage. The only reasonable assumption to be made is that Sammy may have gone into the nearby woods to hide from his father. Though it is then difficult to understand why he would have just wandered off deeper and deeper as darkness was encroaching. Or could something entirely different have happened here? Rescue workers searched under rocks, beneath logs, and on precipitous slopes at Crater Lake National Park on Wednesday in search of an 8-year-old boy who has spent 4 nights in snow and cold conditions after wandering from his father. Park officials said that they had not given up hope that Sammy may still be found alive and were expanding the area of their search. The youth has camping experience, but no formal training in wilderness survival. He disappeared in wintry conditions. The park, at 7,000 feet, averages more than 500 inches of snow a year.
Dang.
In the days after Sammy's disappearance, the weather worsened in the area and snowfall continued over that time before seeing improvements. Once the weather did start to ease off, searchers had helicopters in the air as well as rappelling crews from Yosemite coming to assist. At this stage, there are around 150 searchers present, but they found no trace of Sammy. Denny Zeman was the chief ranger at the Mojave National Preserve in California, and he was called in with his incident management team to help lead the search efforts. It seems as though Denny and his team met with surprise because he said that despite calling in hundreds of searchers, including elite wildland firefighters who did intense grid searches, they never found a trace of Sammy.
That's sad.
I also came across an interesting piece of information in regards to Sammy. Sammy had a mild form of autism,
Yep.
which manifested itself in a fear of loud noises and bright lights. That complicated the work of the more than 200 search and rescue workers. Across the channel, I've covered a large number of missing young people that have had autism who have disappeared in a similar manner. It's not clear to me why they seem to have the proclivity of doing this, but they may be overrepresented in these kinds of wilderness disappearances, or it at least feels that way. It's not clear to me why this may be the case, perhaps because the gravity of the situation isn't understood as quickly, and they don't sense how serious loved ones are being. It could be that in that moment, they feel running away from the parents is fun, or they're playing, or something like that.
Right. A lot of kids.
I'm not
do that.
sure, but I'll have to do an episode.
A lot of kids do that, just run, but clearly a lot of them will just stop. Okay. This something for me is something weird about that story. Okay. Point blank. I mean, the boy just disappears, just vanish. I don't know.
Dedicated to disappearances involving autism, perhaps looking at the ones I've covered and adding new ones. In any case, for a whole week, the forest saw 200 searchers scour them with search dogs on scene for the entire duration. The search did continue after that, but at a limited capacity. The temperatures had been below freezing and hovering around these areas, so it was thought that they were looking for a body. The search dogs never found Sammy's scent, and no indication of his presence was ever unearthed either. No footprints were found in the snow initially, or at any point, though of course they would have been filled in by further snow over time. There may be a valid critique of the search effort though, because it was never mentioned how it was being conducted.
Right.
Those with autism can be very scared of loud noises, so if you have a group of people shouting his name loudly, this could have scared him. If he found a good hiding spot, He could have succumbed there without ever have been found.
Right?
Though it has been 15 years now, so it could be considered surprising that his remains were never found. Some successful searches for young persons with autism like this have included playing sounds from their favourite TV shows to help attract them over. It was never said if efforts like that were made here. Ultimately, Sammy, not any trace of him, has ever been found. We're going to go back time a bit now to 1975.
Stop right there.
Building your own.
Let's say that's damn weird, okay? However, no telling. I mean, but no footprints, no anything. Because even if, let's just say, even if his father did something to him, you would think that you would still see traces of something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Because he was running and stuff and everything. I don't know. Because like he just said, they didn't find any type of footprints in the snow, anything. He just basically disappeared. Just disappeared. Can you imagine you out there with your child playing? Your child sees something shiny and start running toward it. And then you going up there to get him or whatever the case is, then he just disappeared, vanished. Like I said, part of the story I can believe that he just vanished, and another part of me saying it's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure back then they questioned the dad and all this other stuff. And if the dad, this is allegedly, just say if the dad would have did something to him, I think they would have found something out there in the snow. You know what I'm saying? Then what happened to his little footprints and things like that? That's where it starts to be kind of strange.
Your online business? Go to Wix.com and set
Not
up.
past that. Now the next story, 1975. You know who that is?
I've seen the disappearance of
Right.
Charles McCullough covered a lot on YouTube and read many accounts online, and I believe I've even covered his disappearance briefly once before on this channel. This time, though, I want to trace in reports and documents. Charles McCullough, primarily Charles, time of his 19 years old and from Virginia. He had a passion for photography and was an aspiring photographer. For some reasons, he left his home in 1970 for an extended hiking trip. He also wanted to hone his skills in art to visit scenic areas. I unfortunately couldn't find any of the official newspaper reports in regards to this incident, but I did find correspondence between Charles's family, Senator William L. Scott, among other senators, who were acting on their behalf. Correspondence from the US Department of Justice and the FBI. Carrying on with Charles, some names in the documents are left out for the sake of confidentiality, so I'll paraphrase to make this easier on the ears.
Still, I would say this again, if you know that a lake area, a national park, has a lot of things happening there that are very iffy, why would you go visit this place? I know it's beautiful. You can see it from the videos. However, if you know that a lot of strange things have been happening at this place, as well as disappearances and suicides, why would you visit the place? And just say if you did visit it, why would you be hiking? You can just go look at it, take a couple pictures, and leave. Okay? I wouldn't even be at that place like that. Let's go ahead and finish watching this. I don't know. Sometimes I think people, man, choose their own destinations by certain actions that they take.
Correspondence with Senator Scott, the family explain. On the 29th of January 1975, Charles McCullough left his friend's apartment in Eugene, Oregon, to take a bus and hiking trip to Crater Lake National Park to take photographs of the lake and surrounding area. He had planned to return to Eugene on the 31st of January 1975. Charles didn't return on the 31st or any time after that. In fact, he was never seen again. Charles' loved ones waited until the following day, and when they hadn't heard from him, they then let all law enforcement agencies in Eugene know that he was missing. The Oregon State Police then notified the press and posted his picture and information that he was missing in bus stations and the highly trafficked areas so people were made.
This daggone case right here, this one of this photographer that became missing, that one right there was really strange. Like with the little boy, I got some doubts in certain areas, but in that story. But with this dude right here, he just vanished. Okay, he just vanished. And again, I'm still trying to figure out why do people tend to go to these places that they hear certain things about, and they just got to go. And then when they become missing, then they become missing. I don't even want to say what I was going to say because family members and stuff like that. But I just think it's crazy, you know.
Aware. The search for Charles began quickly, and park rangers, law enforcement officers, and many search and rescue groups, including search dog groups, were out in force scouring the park for him. This is in addition to air units deployed above the park. These intensive searches had failed, and Charles's family wrote this to Senator Scott. The original thought of the state police was that Charles had changed his itinerary without notifying anyone. Knowing that Charles was a responsible young man who had stayed in contact with us during his trip through Texas, Arizona, and Oregon, we immediately rejected this idea. The prevalent theory by all was that Charles was a victim of the heavy snows and cold weather. Although doubtful of this, because he had knowledge of snow, survival techniques, and his equipment was very good, we had no evidence to the contrary. The hypothesis that Charles may have changed his plans was due to the fact that those heading the search thoroughly believed that they would have found something by this stage, but they didn't find a single trace of his whereabouts. Presumably prompting the question, is he even here? It's not clear when Charles would have changed his mind. He told everyone he was going to Crater Lake. Was it on his way there? Was it while he was inside the park, when he left? No, because that wasn't the case at all, as we'll come to find later. At this point in the search, Crater Lake officials, as well as family members, had arranged flights to take them over the lake and road areas around the lake. Needless to say, but these aerial searches never provided any answers. From the letters the family sent, you get a sense of desperation in that above all else, they wanted to understand what had happened to Charles. Family members themselves began to travel to areas in Crater Lake National Park, leaving pictures of Charles and interviewing people on the ground who had seen or given a lift to hikers. There were no positive identifications made. The police interviewed a man who gave a description of seeing someone that looked like Charles, but nothing ever came of it. The family then go on to state just how extensive these searches were, citing that the Cascade rescue teams have scoured the areas on snowmobiles, skis,
and still couldn't find nothing about this man. And when people disappear like this, it makes you wonder, okay? Because if a person took them, they're going to leave some type of clues, okay? But if something else took them, it's not. Just like the little boy. That's what makes me think that the little boy who became missing in 2006, I believe, at first I was looking at, somebody else, right? And then I was like, when they didn't see no footprints or anything else, just nothing there. Because usually if somebody do something to someone, like a crime, they usually don't, it's always something that they leave back, okay? Something, just something. But in that case of the little boy, nothing. And then Charles, nothing, just nothing. That makes me think of something supernatural or something like that. That's what it makes me think of.
in planes, helicopters, and by hiking, but all of these efforts never produced any positive results. This part is interesting. In July 1975, I returned to Oregon where I hiked, flew, and drove over the area for over 3 weeks without any positive results. After returning home and reviewing the information contained in what we possessed, plus map research and the intensity of these searches finding any signs of equipment, we concluded that Charles was not the victim of foul weather, but rather a victim of foul play. The FBI reported to a congressman only and the sense of foul play, and that the FBI has no authority to investigate missing persons unless evidence of the party. have taken Charles. So this highlights a point of contention when you are a set. Can this be considered evidence that something is amiss? It's certainly not considered evidence that points in that direction. I think on some it is, but the FBI certainly didn't think so. If you're interested in knowing what items were carried by Charles, you can watch the video now and go through them. The family did have other reasons of suspicion though, in relation to why foul play may have been at hand here. I quote, "After some weeks, it was determined that had in fact gone up Route 138 from Roseburg towards Crater Lake. The nation was made. The interviewing persons were essentially right. There is a curious aspect to be seen approximately 47 miles east of Roseburg at approximately 6:30 p.m. the day he left Eugene. The bus he would have taken from Eugene was due to arrive in Roseburg at 3:51 p.m. and continue on south. He apparently left the bus at Roseburg at 3:51 p.m. He was reported seen 47 miles away 2.5 hours later. Having left the bus route, he was on foot. All reports indicate that none of the people who live in the area gave him a lift. This would indicate that whoever gave him a ride was going further up the road, the direction he was going. So why would he get out? We have asked the state police to investigate this, but all indications are that they do not intend to do so. So just to shorten and simplify that point, after getting off the bus at 3:51 p.m, 2.5 hours later, he was seen 47 miles away. Obviously, you cannot walk that distance.
That's what I was going to say. You cannot walk 47 miles in 2 hours. Come on now. So what happened to him in between that time?
In 2.5 hours, so this leaves us with a few options. Firstly, was this spotted person even Charles? I'm not sure how they knew it was definitely him, but all parties seem to believe that it was. Clearly, if this was actually him, he must have been transported up there somehow. The family brought up an interesting question as to why Charles might have chosen to get out of the vehicle. Was the person or persons behaving suspiciously inside the vehicle? Were they making him feel uncomfortable? Had he been threatened, or at least felt threatened? I suppose we'll never know for sure.
But if he was threatened, okay, we're going to throw that one out, because if he was threatened, I doubt very seriously they would have let him get out of the car. Okay?
Oh. If this was the case though, there's no reason that these individuals might have later turned back around and come back to Charles for whatever reason. There is no evidence of this, of course, and it's speculation, but I can see why the family were going down this path. I quote, "It is not in the least unreasonable to assume that a crime was committed in the disappearance of Charles. There has not been any investigation into the probability of that crime. If you want to pause the video now, you can see a further list of reasons as to why the family believe that Charles just didn't voluntarily decide to disappear."
Let's see, as the request, he was keeping in touch with home. Car mail from El Paso, Texas, while he was en route to Yuma, Arizona. Telephone calls on January 16 and 22nd, 1975 from Yuma, so he was calling home. Telephone call on January 27, 1975 from Eugene, Oregon. In the phone call, he stated he was going to return to Yuma to see a rodeo prior to going to Denver, Colorado. He knew that there would be a $100 check awaiting his return to Yuma, so of course he wouldn't be trying to do no crazy stuff. 3 uncashed traveler's checks, he had that. All of his friends knew him to be a reliable person and without exception believed he would never voluntarily disappear. Then on January 30, 1975, snow depths between Stump Lake and Crater Lake ranged from 24 inches to 90. Charles could not have gotten far from clear roads or trails unless the snow was frozen over. This is the day he was dropped off at Stump Lake by a logger who had given him a ride. It was a clear day. On January 31st, 1975, no new snowfall until afternoon, with 0 to 4 inches of snowfall later in the day. This is the day that he would have started back to Roseburg. Even if he had been able to get off the cleared roads or trails, he could have returned to these roads or trails with a maximum of only 4 inches of additional snow. He had knowledge and equipment to make snowshoes in an emergency. He had an excellent equipment, downfield sleeping bag, was comfortable to -25 degrees Fahrenheit. Downfield jacket and hood, large sheet of black building plastic to keep equipment dry, some food, and a minimum of 3 boxes of matches. He had excellent knowledge of hiking and camping in hot and cold weather, and was an avid hiker, camper, and skier. All possible areas where he could have gone were searched without any evidence being found. This includes airplanes and helicopters in both winter and summer, with one aircraft being equipped with infrared cameras, snowmobiles, skiers, and extensive search parties on foot during the summer months. The Oregon State Police have no evidence to justify either of these assumptions. Okay, so they don't believe that all this stuff happened.
Yeah. I find number 10
they just
quite
believe he disappeared or something. You know what I'm saying? Something happened.
interesting, and is probably something worth bearing in mind. All possible areas where he could have gone were searched without any evidence being found. This includes airplanes and helicopters in both winter and summer, with one aircraft being equipped with infrared cameras. Snowmobiles, skiers, and
What?
extensive search parties on
Wait,
foot
what
during
is they
the
talking
summer
about right here? At the end, wait,
months.
y'all. Tell me.
After back and forth letters between the
Wait.
family,
Right here,
helicopters
this
in
damn
both winter and
evidence. What does it say? This damn thing is in a place with evidence being found in the extensive winter and summer searching and knowing him to be a responsible young adult. We can, what does this say? We can, this damn thing is in the way. We can, in other presumption to explain his disappearances, other than that he was involuntarily detained and killed. And that's what I'm thinking. So they just think he was taken and killed. And that's exactly what I think too. Because I just don't see it, all this other stuff they can come up with. It's just weird.
and summer, with one aircraft being equipped with infrared cameras. Snowmobiles, skiers, and extensive search parties on foot during the summer months. After back and forth letters between the family, senators, and the
This is
FBI,
sad.
Senator Scott told the family that the information they provided was not sufficient for the FBI to begin an investigation. Afterwards, the family campaigned
No, it's
Senator
messed up
Scott to
how
help
the FBI just don't see a reason to search for people when they become missing like this. And then the police and stuff always, allegedly, they always assume that somebody just left, vanished, and assumed a new identity. It's like, damn, don't go, listen, stop going on these hiking trails because they're not going to look for you in depth. It's going to look for you a little bit and that's going to be it. So stop doing all this stuff.
fight for funding so that the family could fund a private investigation because the official law enforcement agencies wouldn't help.
Now, the
As
real
far
question is, who is this dude walking out here by himself? That's the real question.
as I'm aware, this never came to fruition. However, in October of 1976, around 8 months after he disappeared, his body was found by two
Hey.
hikers. This was written to the director of the FBI from SAC Portland. Charles was last seen on the 29th of January 1975 near Eugene, Oregon, and was believed to be hitchhiking to Crater Lake National Park. An extensive search for McCullough by the Oregon State Police, Crater Lake National Park Rangers, McCullough's family, and others failed to locate any trace of him. The snow level in the park at the time of McCullough's disappearance was 100
Hey.
inches, and more snow fell in the following days. On the 18th of October 1976, Chief Park Ranger Blank advised that hikers had found some badly weathered camping gear and keys near Bybee Creek in the park. One of the keys found matched a key reportedly in the possession of McCullough at the time of his disappearance. Park rangers searched the area at Bybee Creek and located the camping gear, a human skull, a lower jawbone, and several other bones. Again on the 18th, the park rangers obtained the remains and had them examined by a pathologist at Klamath Falls. The examiner stated that the teeth in the skull and lower jawbone matched perfectly with McCullough's dental chart. The pathologist further advised that he saw no evidence of damage to the skull other than that caused by the elements. The pathologist advised that he saw no indication of damage to the skull that would indicate foul play. The day afterwards, law enforcement officials, along with park rangers and family members, were flown by helicopter to the location near Bybee Creek where the remains were found. This remote, rugged mountainous area was searched as thoroughly as practical for any clues as to how Charles may have passed away. The theory advanced by park rangers, and the most plausible, is that McCullough became lost in the snow while trying to hike from the north entrance of the park to the park headquarters. With 100 inches of snow on the ground, Bybee Creek would most probably have been completely covered with illegible. McCullough probably was crossing the creek on top of the snow and fell into a crevice where he perished.
Wow.
The spot where McCullough's body decomposed was located and examined by the State Crime Lab examiners. Their examination located quantities of decomposing hair and clothing and several small bones. It was the opinion of the Crime Lab examiner that McCullough passed away at that spot from exposure to the elements, and was most likely trapped in a snow crevice at the time. No indication whatsoever of foul play was located.
Wow.
Or in other words, according to the examiner, there was absolutely no sign of a struggle, injury, abuse, or anything like that. The location of the body meant traversing 12 miles worth of trails first, so it's unlikely that a third party would carry a body all that way in the conditions present at the time. Most accounts of this disappearance articulate that upon the discovery of his remains, his jeans were propped upon a log in better condition than they should have been.
That's weird.
It stated that his boots were missing, along with his shirt and coat. Some socks poked out of the jean legs and apparently contained some shin bones. His belt was also reportedly undone and buttons opened on the jeans. One park ranger allegedly reported that it's as if he melted away. His wallet and camera was said to never have been found.
So what happened?
The only
So
problem
listen, what happened to his wallet and camera? That should have been there.
I have with that is that I can't find the original source of that information. That's not to say it doesn't exist, but it's not within any of the FOIA documents, and I can't find any of the original articles. Unfortunately, most places that have written about Charles and given that description don't seem to be citing the original articles either, because they're not cited and there are no links to them. Because of that, you have to question whether elements have been exacerbated over time, which does happen in a lot of topics. Again, I have no evidence to say it has been, but I can't verify it at the same time. You'd perhaps expect that to have been reported within some of the FOIA documents, given that the discussions were quite detailed. If you know of the original sources, then please do let me know, and I'll update this in the next video. There were no comments made about this particular area being searched in the original search and rescue efforts, so I can only assume this area wasn't checked initially.
Let's let this go. They clearly could have searched the area. Shit.
And it's not really clear at all what happened here. I suppose Occam's razor would be that after getting out of the car, he made his way through the park, perhaps getting lost in harsh snow and in freezing cold temperatures. He could have suffered from hypothermia, which, if the log situation is true, could explain the missing boots and other clothing.
Right.
He could have ditched them before reaching his final location. This could be a similar situation with his camera. If he felt it was weighing him down, he might have ditched it. You'd like to think they'd have found it by now,
That's
but
what
of
I'm here
course
to
that
say.
doesn't seem to have happened, so it's not clear. Again, this is providing the log situation is true. His remains then may have been later scattered by animals. The second scenario that his family had entertained was the idea that foul play had occurred here. Again, if true that the camera was never found, instead of ditching it himself, could the people that gave him a lift have taken it?
Right.
It's not clear that there was a crime beyond that, because examination by the pathologist seemed to rule that out, stating that there was no evidence of damage that you'd expect from an attack. It also means that whoever did it would have had to carry the body, which is heavy, 12 miles through trails and avoid being spotted, then travel 12 miles back. That seems unlikely. difficult, and very risky. After looking at people discussing this incident, some seem to find it more plausible that he was carried to that location instead of walking there himself, but I'm not sure I find that so convincing. What do you make of Charles' disappearance? Was this a case of him simply getting lost? Or was there foul play involved? Or did something else entirely happen here? Do share your thoughts.
Shit, I don't know.
I'd just like to take the time to thank you for
I do
what.
not know for sure, because it could be a lot of stuff that could have went on in there. That's crazy. I don't know. Cause the people who gave him a ride, they could have been acting crazy in the car, right? But if they would have been acting crazy, don't y'all think that they probably would have went after him if if they was doing something weird and stuff? Unless they took his camera and put him out of the car. You just never know. You really don't know. But the thing about it, the area he was found in, I wonder why they didn't search all of that area. But maybe it's because that park is so big, they didn't think about searching, or or just they probably just didn't think about searching that area, huh? That is crazy. And then too, like they say, somebody said in this comment about their boots and stuff. Why do they take all their clothes off if it's freezing cold? But I guess when you go through hypothermia, I don't know. Just the whole story to me just seems kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? They do put themselves in situations and stuff. So he was hitchhiking. Okay, why even go out there like that by yourself? It's weird. And as far as the dad with the son, again, I'm gonna say it had to be something weird happening there, because how can the kid just disappear like that? Just disappear into thin air. And just say allegedly the dad did something to his child. They didn't find any evidence of anything. No splatter of blood, no anything. So there had to be something weird happened to his son. Now, as far as the second person, Charles, I think that's his name. I don't know. This is a very strange thing. It could be anything with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was out there. He was hitchhiking. Like I said, and just like the narrator was saying, the people who he got in the car with could have taken this camera and then made him get out the car. Okay, like sometimes people do. And he was walking. And then he got lost. And then he stopped in the area because he didn't have no choice, especially if he started suffering from hypothermia, trying to stay alive and stuff. I don't know. Just straight up weird. You know what I'm saying? If you are already in a car, unless the people are doing something weird, that's the only reason why I would say they had to, because why would he get out the car? They had to be doing something strange. If he was in a car and then he get out and then walk through all that snow in those woods and all that stuff. And then what about at nighttime and stuff? So it's just really strange, you know what I'm saying? How these two disappeared, especially the little boy, because they didn't never find anything, no body, no nothing. At least with Charles, they did find his body later on, even though the pants unbuttoned is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Because why was his pants unbuttoned? Because think, if you are freezing to death, why would you be having your pants unbuttoned? It's kind of strange. And then what about his boots? I think they said one was missing, things like that. And then what else? Where's his wallet? Again, the people in the car could have took his wallet. You just never know. And did they even interview the people in the car? Because the thing is, how would they know that somebody in the car picked them up? So they had to interview these people. You know what I'm saying? They should have been checking these people out just to see, because that's kind of strange. Why would he jump out the car, get out the car and stuff, and all the other stuff? There's a lot of unanswered questions with his case, as well as with the little boy, because I'm still trying to figure out, how did he just disappear? Just vanish, no trace of him whatsoever. But with all that being said, that park is very weird. So let's see if we can find the video about that. Wait, I'm on the wrong page, I think. On the wrong shit, y'all. So let me see. The park is got a lot of different things that happen out there. So I hope they'll go over the same the same stories. Let's see. I want to do something. I don't want to go over a long one. I want to go over something. Now I know he about to lie. Well, I will go ahead and play this one because it's shorter. Let me say this. I don't know if these stories are 100% true. Okay. Okay. Again, this video is protected by the Fair Use Copyright Act. We are doing a reaction video. So when I stop the video, you know why. I have to stop the video in order to give a reaction. Okay. So this is just some scary stuff. I told you guys I was going to show you the stuff about the scary stuff that happened at the park as well.
Hear from a man working at Crater Lake who is stunned when he encounters a creature that looked
Now we're
and
gonna see
moved very strange. And then off to Grand Teton National Park, where a seasonal worker sees something alive that doesn't make any sense. Finally, a man in Montana witnesses something in the sky that really messes up his mind. So if you're enjoying our time together, please click that button. You know the one. Thanks. Now let's get into the stories. Over the years, I have heard of stories leaking out of national parks about strange creatures, beings that people can't understand. I've never personally experienced any myself, but I always wondered if there was any truth to these stories.
I've been to a lot of national parks, okay? Well, not a lot. I've been to Cleveland National Park, different areas of it. And we've been in the woods going on hiking, okay? We went to the Margarita one up in Fallbrook. And I must say, on everything, that I have never seen anything in none of these places, and I never want to. It was peaceful, but I've never been out there at night either, okay? Or weird times or anything. So you can never tell. But I'm just saying, every time that I went in a national park, like when we hiked and stuff through Cleveland National Forest in different locations, I have never seen anything. Just like when I used to be outside late at night driving, I never seen anything on the roads besides the girl who I try to help. I never seen anything supernatural or anything, but it could be a reason why I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I never did. You know what I'm saying? So it's not saying that nobody sees things, because some people do, but I'm just saying I never have, not even at the forest. Okay. And I went to a forest where they do in Fallbrook. Well, actually it's not Fallbrook, it's by Oceanside. It's not Oceanside though. I forget, it's out there by that mall. And they have a forest out there. I can't remember the name of the forest. Well, it's believed that at that forest, as a matter of fact, I may talk about that forest one day. They do rituals out there. Okay, so we went to that forest. I didn't go deep into it, but I went to the forest. There was other people out there. I didn't feel nothing. But again, they could be deep out into the forest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish listening to this.
So you can imagine how intrigued I was recently when I was talking to a friend about this. He told me that his father-in-law always talked about seeing something strange, something that was definitely alive but looked nothing like anything he had ever seen before, and that it had happened decades ago. Of course, this all piqued my interest, but what really added to the intrigue was that this happened to him while he was working in Oregon at Crater Lake National Park back in the 60s. He was assigned to the North Rim area of the caldera and was working on a trail project. He was clearing brush and doing a lot of repair work, and one night he realized he had forgotten his work bag, and so he went back to the work site soon after clocking out to get it. He was there on the North Rim and began walking along the trail that led to where he had been working. And it was then that he felt a presence, like something was watching him. He says that at the time he had no idea what it was, but he knew that it was definitely there. He continued walking, and shortly thereafter heard a strange singing noise coming from the forest, like a woman.
So it does? Okay, so yeah, so he probably was confused, or it just, he probably was confused and stuff and everything, and just started doing weird stuff. Damn.
Or a child was out there. He says it was haunting and strange. And he said it seemed to be coming from the direction where he had been working, which made him apprehensive about continuing. He actually became so concerned that he decided he would just retrieve the bag the next day. So he turned around, started to head back to his truck. He began walking back, but it wasn't long before he heard footsteps walking in the distance behind him, following him. He turned around but saw no one. So he quickened his step and continued walking. And at the time, he then again heard footsteps following him, now keeping pace with him. They walked when he walked, they stopped when he stopped. He said it wasn't long before he felt a strong sense of danger. So he then started to run back to his truck. And then just before arriving there, he turned around, and that's when he saw it.
What?
When he turned around, he saw the whites of two eyes looking at him, piercing at him from the darkness. He also felt again that strong sense of evil as he stared in
Don't
the
forget
direction of
this, that lake, remember this. When it was telling you a brief history of the lake, they told you guys that the people who were there before, a long time ago, used to worship the lake and probably was doing type of things, magic type stuff there. You know what I'm saying? Because they worship the lake. So don't tell them what type of things they were doing there, and you know, um, curses and shit they put in the lake. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that lake is haunted. I believe that.
the eyes, the rest of the creature then slowly revealed itself to him. What he saw was completely pale gray in color, and he said that it kept low to the
Dang.
ground, and yet it was able to move very fast at the same time. He said that he was only about 20 feet away from it when he saw it. He said then that it paused when he stopped at his truck, and it looked up at him with large, black, round eyes that seemed to be too big for its head,
Dang.
almost alien.
That's what I was going to say. Sound like a damn
It
alien.
stared at him without moving
I was
or
going to say it sound
blinking
like an alien, y'all.
at all, but soon quickly turned and disappeared into the undergrowth. After standing there shocked for a minute or two, he then stepped forward to try to find it.
What?
And he looked around
Hold up.
continually for about an hour.
What in the heck is wrong with these people? If you see something, you claim you are so scared of it. Why would you be going to try to find it? Okay, that's stupid. Damn, then you wonder why these people become missing.
Or so, but couldn't locate anything. No sign of it at all. He said that he had worked in the park for years and he knew that area like the back of his hands.
He crazy as hell, because there's no way I would have went back behind this creature and looking for it. And then when you find it, what you gonna do about it? What are you gonna actually do about it when you find the creature? Damn, you're gonna get yourself eaten.
That was out of place. He then decided to give up and started heading
That's
back
weird.
to get to his truck. But he found that in good conscience, he didn't want to do that, thinking that the creature could be dangerous. And with people in that area every day, who knows what could happen? And so he returned to where he saw it. And now there were some tracks, which looked like dog tracks, but bigger than they should have been. And also what struck him as odd was that it looked like there were only 4 toes on each print rather than 5 that you would expect from a normal dog. So after looking at these tracks for a few minutes, trying to work out what made them, he had this very strange sensation while standing there. He said his mind seemed to blank out, and he couldn't remember why he was there or what had happened there. So he then decided to leave the area and head home, which he was able to do without incident. But the next day, while at work, his boss rang him and asked him if he had seen anything strange in that area when he was there earlier, since another worker had reported seeing something unusual also. He said yes, and proceeded to describe the creature with gray skin and eyes that were like black holes.
Wow.
But his boss was dismissive to that description and tried to offer up explanations that didn't entertain an unknown creature. The boss was almost even patronizing about it, to the point where he made the friend's father-in-law go back with him to look at the area again and look for the tracks. Once they arrived to the area, and after looking around a few minutes, he remembers that his mind seemed to go blank again. He blacked out a little bit just like before, and when he looked up from the tracks, his boss was gone. He then looked down at his watch, and over 2 hours had passed. It was now noon, and he couldn't remember the previous 2 hours.
This doesn't even make no damn sense. Okay, if you was walking with your boss, okay, and then you froze or whatever you want to say, you froze, you went into a trance or whatever the case is, why didn't your boss wake you up out of it? Why didn't your boss still grab you by the hand and walk you back out of that place? Why would your boss just leave you there? That doesn't make no sense.
Hours, and that terrified him. He walked back to the parking lot hoping to find his truck, and thankfully it was there. He got in and immediately returned to the main building where he found his boss sitting in his office. He walked up to his boss's office, asked him about what had happened, but his boss just looked up as if nothing had happened and asked how his day was going, very nonchalantly. At that point, my friend's father in law knew that what he was experiencing was not normal at all, and the thought crossed his mind that it might even be extraterrestrial or some other kind of unworldly creature that had played with his mind. But he had no idea what. That day he went home early because he had been left very shaken up, but just said he wasn't feeling well. Ultimately, it apparently took quite some time before he told his story, as it obviously had shaken him up quite badly. Now, I've known my friend who told me this about his father-in-law for many years, and he's a very straight-up guy who would not tell stories to make people uncomfortable or laugh even. He told me this story just like I've told you, without adding any embellishments. And also, his father-in-law was quite a private person and never really talked about what he saw to anyone else other than immediate family. So that makes me sure that he did not make up the story. So after hearing this story from the family directly, I thought that perhaps you all might be interested in hearing it, which is why I'm sharing it with you here. It seems that there could be more truth behind some of those national park stories after all. I hope this helps someone. Thank you.
It's weird, y'all. Okay, that's very strange. That's entire story. Okay, that's very strange. I didn't go by the other ones because it's not Crater Lake National Park. Okay, those are different parks. You can go and look up those yourself to find out what happens next and everything. I just basically wanted to cover some of Crater Lake. But like I said, there have been let me say this so I can go back and finish watching that. There have been many different events that they talked about happen at this national park. Okay, many. Let me see if I can do a timeline of some of them before I end this topic. Not me, I'm going to change that. Park. Let me see if I can get it in right. Can I just go over a little list of it? Let's see, because I don't want to be. So they said that lake was formed by a volcano that erupted and collapsed around 7,700 years ago, and it formed Crater Lake. Okay, and you cannot swim in that lake. They said the water temperatures do not warm up like its big brother Crater Lake. So you can't even you can't swim in Little Crater Lake but in the big Crater Lake, I guess the temperatures do warm up. This is wow. Dang. See, for the Indians, they use Crater Lake as a sacred place. Okay, so as they say, they're hunting, berry gathering, and vision crests in the lake area were tied to their religious view of the lake. And so they probably was doing other things at the lake as well. Okay. Let's see what they said. So they did 24 trips to the bottom of Crater Lake using a mini submarine. Okay. I'm just looking on here and see what they said. So you can swim at the regular lake, just not at the other one, the little lake, I think. Okay. So let's see. I just want to see about the strange things. A lot of places. Let's see. Let's see if they can tell. Here are 15 spooky things. How long is this? I don't want to look at no 37-minute thing. They're probably going to go over the same thing anyway. Let's see if we can read anything. Can I see if we can do that? So they had a bunch of mysterious deaths, but I bet you we just saw two of them, I know. Let's see. I'm just going to see. So, they said visitors have fell off the park cliffs. Okay. People have got caught in snowstorms and crashed their cars into the deep ravines. Airplanes and helicopters fall out of the sky by it. And they had a lot of homicides there. Okay. So they said that in the summer of 1970, a man named Dave Panbaker got a job as a seasonal ranger at Crater Lake. Over the summer, he heard about an interesting but little known sight in the park. A dark blue gunman F-6F Hellcat fighter that had crashed there a month or two after World War II ended. This is a picture of it, I guess. Let me cancel this shit. The old Navy fighter had hit hard, and everyone assumed the pilot was long dead. One of his machine guns was embedded in a cliff face, and the blue wing with its white star insignia was clearly visible through the underbrush. It was a relatively short and very doable hike to go see it. So Panbaker, on his day off, pulled his boots on and set out to go see that, I guess. But Panbaker got lost while searching for the crash site. Rather than just continue hiking and hoping for the best, he sat down on a log to think through his options for what most likely get him back to civilization. And while he sat and thought, he suddenly got the feeling somebody was watching him. And that's the same thing this other man said. He looked up and locked eyes, or rather eye sockets, with a human skull that was staring at him from under a nearby log. Can y'all believe that? So they say, in any case, Panbaker did find his way back out of the forest a short time later, and he brought the skull with him. The chief ranger wasn't too happy with me when I talked to him in his office and pulled the skull out of my pack and put it on the desk. Okay. During an oral history interview, a Whidbey Island Naval investigative team came to the park a few days later. The Navy authorities identified the skull using dental records. It was 22-year-old ensign Frank Lupo. Okay. Lupo was a New Jersey native. He had been part of a squadron of 7 Hellcats flying from Redmond to Red Bluff, California in December 1945. The seven of them had been struggling a bit with the weather, and the cloud ceiling was about 6,000 feet, less than 2,000 feet above the rugged terrain they were overflying. The ceiling steadily lowered until the planes were at 500 feet above the treetops. Then snow and mist closed in, and the pilots could no longer see the ground. They were flying with instruments now. When they emerged from the fog, there were only 6 of them. The Navy returned Lupo's skull to his still surviving mother, who finally, 25 years later, got to bury her son. Okay? Then, I don't know what this story is about, the skeleton crew. So then on February 26, 1975, Jean Nunn drove to the airport in Klamath Falls and dropped off her husband, Dave, along with her daughter and grandchild. Dave was flying the 2 back home to Salem in his blue Cessna 182. 2 17-year-old student pilots, Jim Pryor and Matt Perkins, were coming along for the ride to pick up some flight hours, okay? So the plane landed in Salem as planned, and then Dave, Jim, and Matt strapped themselves back into the Cessna for the short flight home to Klamath Falls. Jean, feeling a little chilled, went to bed early that night. She woke up early too, very early. She said, I woke up at 9:30 p.m. with the sensation of a hand on my leg, she recalled in a 2007 interview with Lee Beach of the Klamath Falls Herald and News. I looked at the clock. I knew. I called the airport and told them the plane had gone down at 9:20 p.m. and he had died at 9:30. They confirmed they had lost the plane off the radar at 9:20 at 11,000 feet. Gene may have known, but nobody else did. Search party hunted for the wreckage in vain. People speculated that it might have gone down in the lake. Then 7 years later, on July the 5th, 1982, a hiker just outside the park boundary near Huckleberry Campground spotted what looked like the badly mangled wreckage of a small airplane. Approaching, he found 3 skeletons slumped inside the cabin. Jean had been right. She had a little vision, huh? Investigators soon confirmed it was Dave, along with Jim Pryor and Matt Perkins, by looking in their wallets. Inside Dave's, they found a folded piece of paper on which he had written, "Lose not thine airspeed, lest the ground rise up and smite thee." Wow. Decades later, Jean published a book about her spiritual journey through the trauma of losing her husband. It's titled, "We Fly Away." Gosh, so she had a premonition about that. Actually, I don't know if you call that, but she knew what had happened to him before she even got the call. So the next one, the photograph, well, we already heard about him. I'm not going to go over his story again because we already heard about him vanishing. Again, we don't really know exactly what happened to him. So those are 3 of the stories, y'all. Just 2 that we didn't know about. But it is, like I said, I'm not going to go all the stories because there are a lot of stories about Crater Lake. You guys can look that up on your own. I just gave you a few, but there's a lot of stories about that lake. Some more disappearances and everything, because I actually watched a longer video about the lake and it covered more stories. But if you do want to know anything else about it, you can look it up on YouTube yourself and you can find out all about that lake, and make sure you don't visit it. Okay. If you do, just let me walking all throughout it, because certain parts of it is a hot mess, as far as people claiming that they felt certain presence or seeing things, like Bigfoot, alien stuff, UFOs, just weird shit, ghosts, all types of stuff. Okay. So I'm getting ready to stop that part of this video. We're going to move on to breaking news. Let me go to Google real quick. Wait a minute, hold on, y'all. Let me go back to this. We're going to go to breaking news real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. Where's I'm at? 2018 seemed like a long time ago. Somebody wrote scary thoughts. Let's see what did they write. What did I read that at? Scary thoughts. March the 27th, 2018. Wow. So she listened to that and stuff. Okay, let me go to Google real quick, y'all. Sorry, y'all. We'll just put this up here real quick because we're going to go and do just breaking news now. And we'll just put this in the background. I thought we was going to be putting through the background. These damn people are a hot ass mess, y'all. Let me do it like this. People are crazy. Let's just do it like that, okay? Okay, so we're going to go back here. Now we're going to go over some breaking news, y'all, real quick. And then we're going to be out of here for the night. And thank you guys so much for listening to that story. It was fascinating. Beautiful lake, though. I'm not going to lie. The mountains, everything is really beautiful from all the pictures that I saw of it and everything. Okay, y'all, let's go with some breaking news. Like I told y'all before, we had an earthquake, not in this area where I live at, but in Northern California by Eureka, California. I don't know if anybody got heard anything. This is a 4.6, so hopefully it was like in an isolated area, something like that. All right. So, first article is that a man attempted to kidnap a child from a school bus. However, he was stopped, y'all, by a group of kids, and I'm so happy about that. Okay, let me tell you the story real quick. Let me get a drink of water so I can actually read this correctly tonight. And we are doing good with the time. I've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes, so I'm going to try to wrap this up quick. An attempted kidnapping at a school bus stop went wrong for one, I got on the wrong glasses, y'all, for one 30-year-old man who allegedly attempt was thwarted by a group of children who came to the defense of one of their classmates, police said. The incident happened early Monday morning in Gaithersburg, Maryland, approximately 20 miles north of Washington, D.C., when several students were standing at a bus stop waiting to be picked up by their school bus when 30-year-old Jamal Germany allegedly attempted to kidnap one of the students. Yeah, I know. Probably a lot of aftershocks. Yeah. The victim stated that they were standing at the bus stop in the 17600 block of Town Crest Drive at around 7:20 a.m. when the suspect allegedly grabbed the child and pulled them toward an apartment building. Okay, that is crazy. Then several students who were standing at the bus stop attempted to intervene, and the victim was able to break free. These people have lost their mind. The suspect motive regarding the attempted kidnapping are currently unclear as authorities continue to investigate the incident. This is weird. Authorities say that when the school bus arrived, all the students were accounted for and boarded the bus before the incident. It was reported to school staff. A community engagement officer also responded to the children's school approximately 30 minutes after the attempted kidnapping incident was reported. Through the course of the investigation, detectives identified Germany as the suspect. He was arrested and transported to the Montgomery County Central Processing Unit. Bond information is not available at this time. And this boy, And the Special Victims Investigation Division is asking for anyone who believes that they may have been a victim of Germany to call 240-773-5400. The investigation is ongoing regarding this pervert. And here he is right here. He needs his butt beat. He really does. This is him. Allegedly, he tried to kidnap a student, and some other kids, her friends or just schoolmates, stopped his ass. And I'm glad they did. That is crazy. Huh. So let's go ahead. Okay, y'all. Here's a happy story now. And my prayers are extended out to the girl or boy. I don't know if it was a girl or boy. My prayers are extended out to him or her. And I hope justice is done to the dude who tried to do all that. And I'm glad those other kids stopped him. Thank you to those kids. They were brave. Okay. Now, the next story, y'all, is again, a scratcher was sold in Los Angeles County worth $10 million. And I'm talking about those little scratch cards. Okay. $10 million. Damn, they've been hitting scratchers for a while here. Okay. I wish I could pick up one. Two very lucky people are pocketing $5 million each after buying some winning California lottery scratchers in Los Angeles County. Okay. I'm not giving out any names. One person won $5 million by hitting the top prize on a 100-time scratcher ticket. Okay. That he bought at Famous Ed's Liquor in El Monte. Okay. That is the biggest ticket this store worker said that was bought at his store. Okay. The next person, let's see, is, I'm not giving his name out. He also won $5 million. He purchased his ticket in Santa Monica. Damn. It was a 2023 scratcher's ticket at M&A Tobacco in Santa Monica. Now, both of those stores are going to receive $25,000 each for selling the winning tickets. $5 million. Congratulations to both of those winners. Again, they've been buying winning tickets like that for at least 2 months here. I wish I could pick up one. That is good. Shit, I need to go in them areas and buy one. But anyway, congratulations to those two winners. $5 million is a lot, and blessings with that too. Hopefully they do the right things with the money and they can stretch it to go further. Okay, that's a lot of money though. $5 million, damn. If I win $5 million, y'all, it's gonna be a trip. So here's another story. A couple is sitting in a hot tub in Colorado, and a man suddenly feels something grab his head. Now y'all know what it was. Just think. What you think it was? It was a mountain lion, okay? They were sitting in their hot tub around 8 p.m. on Saturday, this past Saturday, March the 18th, 2023, when the man felt something grab his head. The couple is frightened as the wife screams, and they splash water at the mountain lion. Thanks to the wife's quick thinking, she grabs a flashlight and shines the light at the mountain lion, and they make plenty of noises to scare it away. Damn. This man, they said this man is lucky to be alive after his head was about to be on the dinner menu. Okay, but I say he was blessed. Okay, that's crazy, man. Damn. So anyway, the Park and Wildlife CPW reported that well, I just said that. I guess they went out there to look for the mountain lion. They always repeat stuff on Newsbreak. I don't know why they do this. Okay, let's see. So anyway, they said the couple managed to get back into the house where the wife was able to attend to his scratches on his head. The man was very fortunate. The scratches were minor and not life-threatening. And I want to know what they did with the animal. So they were not, the CPW was sent officers to the scene, but were unable to find any tracks in the snow with freezing temperatures. And they said that this is the first mountain lion attack on a human since February 2022. Okay, so that is a trip. So anyway, I'm glad that his wife thought quickly. Okay, and my prayers are extended out to both of them. I'm just glad it happened. I mean, I'm glad she did what she did to stop something really bad from happening. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let me tell somebody something real quick. Damn. Oh my God, let me hurry up. Okay, let me hurry up and give you this other two stories and I'm gonna be out of here, y'all. Let me see. Okay, let's go ahead and go through the next one. Okay. So a landlord, I'm not going to read these entire stories, y'all. I'm just going to tell you the first part of it, okay? Anyway, a landlord was brutally murdered while trying to evict a tenant, okay? Go through these real quick. So anyway, Kendall Gray, 23, is charged with second-degree murder and the death of 64-year-old Alvin Matsumoto. Alvin was found bleeding profusely from the head outside an apartment building in Honolulu on Sunday and later died in the hospital. Alvin was trying to evict the suspect's girlfriend from his apartment when the assault happened. A witness told a local news station that he saw the suspect dragging Alvin's body down the stairs. Okay. So he was arrested. Kendall Gray, 23, was arrested on Sunday evening and booked into custody on second-degree murder charge in connection with the death of 64-year-old Alvin Matsumoto. I think that's how you pronounce his name. All right, my condolences are especially to his family members and friends, and my prayers are with his family. And again, hopefully justice is served to this dude who did this brutal, very brutal crime to this man. That's sad. 64 years old too. Damn, that is sad, y'all. Okay, so they said there is a deadly fungus spreading around California, y'all. That's what the CDC says. Okay. They say it could be a deadly drug resistant fungus that is spreading fast across the United States, with California seeing the second most cases of any state in the last year. And this is according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Um, the fungus called, oh my God, Candida auris. I'm going to put that in the chat so y'all can see it, because I know I said that incorrect. And I'm not about to put that in Google tonight because I'm trying to hurry up. Let's see, Candida. I don't know if that's how you say that. So that's what it's called. That is the fungi. Wait, let me put it up there, y'all, real quick. I got to hurry up too. Okay. That fungus was detected way back in 2016. And they said CV-19 pandemic might have played a role in it. Okay. But anyway, that's what they say. You can look that up yourself and get more information regarding that. Okay. Let's see what else. Just went over that. So let me give you guys some warning signs of a heart attack real quick. And then we're going to cover one more story. And that will be it for news break, news break, news break. Let me hide this back. I forgot to put this up here. I don't know why I still have that up there. Damn it. Damn it, y'all. That should have been up there, okay? So a heart attack is a medical emergency in which the blood supply to the heart is suddenly blocked. Warning signs that happen a month beforehand could be chest discomfort, fatigue, which is tiredness, and shortness of breath, okay? Every year, around 805,000 people in the United States have a heart attack or myocardial infarction. Okay, so that's roughly one heart attack every 40 seconds. Heart attacks have distinct symptoms, meaning people can seek emergency treatment immediately upon noticing them. However, while heart attacks may occur suddenly, there may be signs ahead of a major cardiac event, such as chest discomfort. Being aware of these heart attack warning signs can help people seek treatments quickly, improving the chance of a swift and full recovery. Okay, I'm not going to discuss everything in this article. However, I will tell you guys the symptoms. Okay. Now, of course, chest pains is one of the most common symptoms. Okay. But these are some other symptoms that you can experience depending on your sex. Okay. So let me just go through this. So women let's see. So women usually experience extreme fatigue, lightheadedness or dizziness. God, I can't even really see this. Neck and jaw pain without chest pain, upper back pain, shortness of breath, chest pressure, vomiting, nausea, feeling of heartburn or indigestion, discomfort or tingling in one or both arms. Women. Men can feel sudden cold sweat, discomfort or tingling in the back, shoulder, arms, neck, or jaw, chest pain or pressure, shortness of breath, and nausea. Okay? And if you experience anything like that, you need to go ahead and go to the emergency room, okay? And then some people even experience disrupted sleep, okay? And don't forget about shortness of breath, all right? A lot of women feel that, all right? Let's see what else. So they said if a person should not wait more than 5 minutes to contact 911 if they have heart attack symptoms. Even if physicians at a hospital determine that a heart attack is not in progress, you need to have an evaluation, okay, to make sure you're not having that, okay? Again, acute heart attack symptoms are discomfort, squeezing, pressure, or fullness in the middle of the chest, okay? A discomfort elsewhere. like in both arms, the back, neck, jaw, stomach. Losing your losing your breath. Okay, shortness of breath. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's another symptom. Um, Breaking out with a cold sweat. Okay, feeling nauseous or experiencing lightheadedness. Okay, those are some warning signs. Okay, coronary artery disease is the most common causes of heart attacks. The hearts of people with that CAD do not receive enough oxygen-rich blood as the coronary artery, which leads to the heart, becomes narrow. This is due to the buildup of a waxy plaque on the artery walls that worsens over several years. When plaque breaks off, it can lead to a blood clot that completely blocks blood flow to the heart, meaning the heart muscles start to die without prompt treatment. Okay, so it could be many reasons why you can have a heart attack. Okay, many. You can have the blockage of the coronary artery due to a sudden spasm, which is more likely in smokers and users of illegal drugs such as cocaine. You can also have a coronary artery embolism, which is more common in those with arterial fibrillation, and is when a blood clot travels from the heart into the coronary artery, blocking it. Or you can have a tear in the coronary artery, which happens more often in women under 50 years of age, pregnant people, or those with Marfan syndrome. Okay, so some risk factors for a heart attack is a diet high in sodium, which is salt, and saturated in trans fats, a lifestyle that does not involve much exercising or moving around, like you sitting your ass at that computer all day or sit on that couch watching TV, you're not getting up exercising. It's just not a good thing. Or if you're driving around all day long and you don't get out and do some type of walking or exercise and things like that, it's just not a good thing. And of course, smoking, all right, as well as excessive drinking and stuff like that. They don't have that on here, but I know it's one risk too. Okay. Many medical conditions that fall under the category of metabolic syndrome can also increase your risk of heart disease. These include obesity, diabetes, and high levels of the following: blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, triglycerides. The risk of heart attack increase with age. People with a family history of heart attack, particularly those with relatives who have had a heart attack at a young age, also have an increased risk. All right. To help you take care of your heart, make sure you check your blood pressure, make sure you know your cholesterol levels and keep it under the guidelines that they say. Make sure you limit your saturated fats and trans fats. Make sure you get enough fruits, veggies, certain oils, peanuts, limit your sugar, do exercise, get enough sleep, try to reduce your stress. What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that's it. It may be some more things you can do to risk your chance of a heart attack. Oh, no drugs. Okay. Also, if you smoke, try to stop that and do not overdrink. Okay. That's how you can reduce your risk of getting a heart attack. And if you feel any type of symptoms, take yourself to the daggone emergency room and let them check it out. Because believe it or not, you can have a heart attack at any age. It's just more prone to it as you get older. Okay. But I went and got my first heart attack test because I thought I was having one. And I was only in my 30s, but it wasn't that. It was costochondritis. Okay. I was only in my 30s. I mean, early 30s. Okay. So make sure you stay on top of your health, y'all, for real. Okay. Make sure you do. This is the last story for the night, y'all. All right. Let's see. So drinking a glass of water on an empty stomach is treatment for many diseases. And I want to let y'all know every morning when I get up, I do this because I've been knowing about this And I actually drink room temperature water. I don't drink cold water. I drink room temperature water when I get up in the morning and throughout the night. Now, drinking plenty of water can maintain your health. However, despite its important role, many people fail to drink enough water to meet their daily needs, okay? Doctors always advise us to drink plenty of water due to its health benefits. But do you know what would happen if you drink a glass of water every day on an empty stomach? Okay, let's tell you. One thing it can do, it can help you with headaches, okay? Consume enough water is important for, no, excuse me, y'all. Consuming enough water is important for reducing headaches, okay? Because a lot of times people be dehydrated, and being dehydrated can affect your body's functions, including mental processes, and lead to harmful pains such as severe headaches, okay? Number 2, maintaining the freshness of your skin. Neglecting to drink water can affect your health, especially the health of your skin, which needs a lot of water to maintain the amount of water in your cells. Therefore, drinking a large amount of water affects the health of your skin. It gives it its freshness. It prevents it from aging prematurely. So drink that water, and also you can splash some water on your face, like, like some cool water on your face. And splashing cool water on your face can help minimize and reduce fine lines and wrinkles. I've been doing this since I used to watch Making a Band, and I heard Sean Puffy Combs say that he washes his face or rinses his face off with cold water. I've been doing that ever since then. Okay, and that's why I don't really have no wrinkles. I see, I don't really have no lines either, but I do see those little things come from a little frown lines. But what I usually do is use the cold water treatment on my face, cool, because I have hypertension. I do the cool water treatment on my face and put it on there like for 10 to 20 seconds in the morning time and at nighttime, and that definitely helps 100%, okay? For real, allegedly, but it does help, okay? I'm just using allegedly, but it does help, okay? Also, the next one is renew your energy. Water consists of a lot of chemical salts that are very beneficial to your health and the health of your body, because it maintains the health of your body, renews your energy for work and life, as drinking water stimulates your red blood cells, which in turns renew the health of your body. So get that water down. Don't overdrink the water though, but just drink enough. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till you get thirsty like that either. You need to just drink water, okay? The next one, yeah, that's why you can do the not hot water, the cool water. The cool water compress over your face. Start young so you can reduce all that stuff as you start aging. I've been doing it for the longest. I probably was in my 30s when I started doing that. The cool water, over my face and stuff and everything. I even take when I take a bath, not a bath because I don't take baths, I just take showers. I don't like sitting in bathtubs because, that's a whole nother story. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want that nasty water, being back on my skin and seeping up in areas where it shouldn't be. So I don't sit in tubs, okay? Even if I would just take the water out and put more water in there. Okay, I just can't. But I just take showers. So what I do is take a shower and then I rinse off in cool water. I used to do it in cold water, but you don't supposed to do that if you have hypertension. So I just do it in cool water. Okay, it supposedly is beneficial for your skin and help reduce, wrinkles and things like that. It's also good for your cells and things like that. That's what I read. Okay, me too. All the time I shower. I don't even think I can sit in a tub, okay, for real. The next one is that it prevents hair loss. Neglecting to drink water leads to hair health problems because human hair consists of keratin, protein, and water. Neglecting water also leads to weak human hair and thus it falls out. Therefore, drinking a glass of water on an empty stomach or drinking plenty of water throughout the day will maintain the health of your hair and prevent it from falling out. And that's probably why I got so much. As a matter of fact, y'all, as well as me, let's get us some water right now and drink some, okay? It's so good. I drink alkaline water too. That's really beneficial for you, especially if you can make your own alkaline water at home. It's better if you can do that. Okay, so those are some benefits of drinking water every day, y'all. Again, it reduces headaches, okay? It helps you to maintain the freshness of your skin. It helps to renew your energy. Okay, it prevents hair loss. Okay, and I actually think it just makes you feel better when you drink water in the morning time. Room temperature water. Okay, it makes your body feel better. It just um, wake up your organs. To me, that's what it seems like it does. It just does a lot, and so that's why I drink water like I do. Plus, it flushes out stuff out of your body, through your urine and through sweat and things like that. It's good for your urinary tract system, especially if you suffer from urinary tract infections or, cystitis. Okay. So it's good for that. You know what I'm saying? Just don't over drink water, because you ever heard of the what is it called? When you drink too much water and it can be damaging. Right. So you just want to drink what you need to drink. Okay. They say 8 glasses or something like that a day or something like that. I don't know. Research that to find out. But just drink what you need and just, drink it. And I usually drink, like I said, room temperature water, because I don't like the feeling of cold water unless it's extremely hot outside, point blank. I read so many things about drinking super cold water versus drinking warm water and then drinking hot water and things like that. And I have even drank hot water that I did over the in the microwave, like if you have a cold or something. A lot of African people do that. They drink the hot water with a little lemon in it, and just when they have colds and things like that, and they put I forgot what else they put in, but they do stuff like that to get rid of colds and things like that. But I did try the hot water thing, and it did work somewhat, But again, guys, those were just some things that water is good for doing in your body. All right. Sorry I went through that fast, y'all. I'm in a rush. Okay. So I think I covered all of the most important news that I wanted to talk about tonight. I want to thank you guys for taking the time out to join me tonight. I hope you learned some things and enjoy this live. All right. Tomorrow night, y'all, I got another interesting topic. I don't know exactly which one I want to talk about yet, but it'll be up. All right. Y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you are not subscribed, welcome to all my new subbies. Thank you to all my day ones. Thank you to all of you guys for subscribing to Shades Tube. Okay. Also, don't forget to hit the bell notification so you can be notified of my upcoming videos. Go check out my walkthrough at Dollar Tree, y'all. In case you've never been here, you can see some of the little stuff they got there. Some of the stuff is cute that you can use and stuff like that. Also, check out my last haul that I did at Coach, and I did at Dollar Tree, of course. Coach, I know it was at Daisio, Coach, in some other store. I can't even remember what it was, guys. I'll be everywhere. But anyway, y'all, tomorrow is my birthday, like I told you before. So we're going to do something fun, a fun topic. And we're going to have a little fun tomorrow. Okay. I'm not going to play no music though, because I don't want to get a what's name. I don't know. I may play one thing. I'm going to play my summer thing, because I love that song by Carl Thomas and stuff. That's my man, y'all, my secret man. I wish I could meet him. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and do my roll call. It's going to be short tonight because it was only a few people in my chat. But anyway, thank you so much, Missy. Like always, thanks for showing support to Shades Tube and being here the whole entire time, in and out. Thank you, Miss Renee. Y'all check Miss Renee, Healthy Living with Miss Renee, the barber. You can just type that in Google and it'll go right to her channel site, and you can just go ahead and check her out. She cooks and stuff like that and do other things on her channel. Very nice channel. So go check her out and subscribe to her channel. Thank you, Elisa, too, for coming in and being here, in and out. Thank you so much for all your support too, girl, and stuff. And I think that was it. And everybody in the bushes, thank you guys for tuning in tonight too. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Y'all are sweet. And I'm so glad no trolls came, because they are so damn annoying, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? But I know what works for them. And that's on everything. I know exactly what works for trolls. Okay. But anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you guys again. Have a blessed night. Have a happy and blessed. What's today, y'all? Today is Tuesday. Have a happy and blessed Wednesday, y'all. Happy and blessed Tuesday night as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Shay's 2 birthday. I'll see you guys. All right. Y'all take peace out, y'all. I'm about to get out of here. Don't forget to thumbs up. Good night, y'all. Take care.